We have been told by content creators that Alex Jones and InfoWars are the canary in the coal mine. Which, to be honest, I find funny actually, considering censorship has been taking place for some time now on the internet and others have been the victim of it before him. Anyone who has not toted the cultural Marxist, globalist, open borders, identity politics line and creates content has experienced censorship in some way, shape, or form. Each and every single one of us has. We have all been canaries in the coal mine to see if they would even be able to get away with trying to censor people before now. Alex and InfoWars has just been an escalation of it. Prior to the internet, what we call the legacy media today, for a good part of the 20th century and even still today, has not been a free press. Operation Mockingbird saw to that in the 1950s and it hasn't changed in regards to this since. But the field in which they operate has severely changed. The cost of entry for producing content has dropped to the point where just about anyone can do it, even those on a budget. Only a few decades ago, it would have taken hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, in order to get your foot in the door as a content creator. The cost of entry was very prohibitive. This was intentional too. Look at both radio and television as examples of this. In their Wild West days, the cost of entry was basically what it took to buy equipment or build it. There was no real licensing or regulatory burdens put on either industry early on, which led to there being so many mom-and-pop local television and radio stations, even well into the 1980s and 90s here in the United States. Eventually, the regulatory and licensing expense, along with the big players driving up the cost for things like syndicated materials, which was done intentionally to help in their demise, led to a lot of them being bought up or closing their doors. Newspapers experienced a similar fate. All of us out here who create content, we are experiencing what the mom-and-pop newspapers, radio stations, and television stations went through. The only difference is, they cannot use the same tactics against us. They have had to adapt in order to try to wipe us out and have made allies in order to do so. The Silicon bigwigs who run it all, and all the major players in tech like Google, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Apple, etc., along with a lot of the people employed under them, ideologically, they hold the same beliefs as those in the legacy media do. The people who control both, they also just happen to operate in the same social circles. This is not just some coincidence. Both clearly colluded together to try to control the narrative and through it the will of the people in the race up to the 2016 presidential election. They tried to label the alternative media as fake news. They tried to shadow ban and throttle the content of creators. They even banned some of the smaller ones from platforms. But no matter what they did, they could not control the flow of information and with it paint a story that the people would buy into and believe, no matter how hard they tried to do so. They honestly believed that they were going to be able to shape people's minds and the election to the point where they were going to put Democrats in control of both houses of Congress and install Hillary as president of the United States. The thing is, they had reality smack them hard in the face and tell them otherwise. Which is why they started to accelerate things after Donald Trump won in 2016 and have done so again 3 months before the midterm election. They do not want a repeat of 2016. The left, the Democrats, Silicon Valley, the legacy media, the deep state, all of them, they are running scared right now. They just saw their blue wave, the same one they've been hyping up, claiming is real, hoping to invigorate their voters, turn into the tidy bowl blue flush with the primaries that are being held. This has brought them to the point of desperation. They feel that they have been squeezed and pressured by the will of the people to the point that they feel outright banning and deplatforming is acceptable morally to them in order to accomplish their goals. This is because they see it as they are fighting an ideological war. We need to start seeing this whole situation the same way they do. This is because whether we like it or not, they have declared war on all of us. They are dictating the rules of engagement in battlefields on top of this too. Imagine if the Founding Fathers and Colonial Army fought the American Revolution and let the British dictate those things. They would have lost the war. We need to take a page from their book and stop fighting where and when someone else wants us to. We also need to stop being and acting reactionary to their attacks against us. We need to start being proactive. We need to start taking the fight to them. We have to start dictating the terms of engagement. We need to start telling them where and how things are going to go down. We need to put them off guard and ourselves out of reach of them. We need to start moving our forces to safer locations where they can't just snipe at us and pick us off one by one. A place where we can safely return fire from and not be wiped out with a few keystrokes. If the creators who are in the line of fire or will be in it eventually do not make the move to a safer location soon, they will one by one see themselves deplatformed. Some reason will be found to take them off those platforms that currently dominate the social media and video hosting sphere of the internet. When that day comes, and it will come, they will be left with completely starting over without any other presence their followers can turn to in order to find them. That could set a lot of them back dramatically, if not destroy them out here. This is why content creators, social media commentators, and anyone else these companies will end up targeting or are targeting now need to start creating presences on sites like Minds, Gab, BitChute, and Steam It with DTube if they haven't already, that is. If they have, they need to put more focus on these sites and encourage other creators to join them over there. They also need to do the same with their subscribers and followers from the dominant platforms. If we were all to start doing this, those alt-tech sites would definitely see growth from it and get much stronger as a result. I know that there are going to be some that say user bases on the alt-tech sites are too small for them to put the effort in creating a presence on them. But here's the thing that they don't realize. By getting in on them now, they could end up being one of the dominant personalities on these sites and one of the ones who help to make them what they will become. They can help shape them and the direction they go in. They can help to ensure these sites remain centers for free speech. When your career choices rely heavily on being able to speak freely, it might be a good thing to maybe have some influence in making sure that you don't lose the ability to do so. On top of this, the only way these sites are going to grow is by more creators and in turn users adopting them, which kind of presents a catch-22 when it comes to their size. Someone has to decide to not make their size an issue. If you are someone who treats site adoption like some women and gay men treat penis size, get over yourself. There is always someone out there with less to work with who does it better than you do. Size does not matter on the internet. Only what you have to say and the quality of your content does. We all have a choice to make as content creators, large, small, or somewhere in between. We can all stand alone, watch each other get picked off one by one, and then react to it as we have been doing. We can individually decide to diversify and create presences on other platforms, as more than a few of us have done at this point. Not put much focus beyond uploading content on them, and wait until the day we are taken out on the dominant platforms as we watched it happen to those before us. Or, we can stop playing by their rules, start playing by our own, take a stand on a battlefield of our own choosing and in large part of our own making, one that is designed to be in our favor and go on the offensive, and finally start handing them their asses without fear of reprisal. Those are our choices. Personally, and this could be the minarchist libertarian in me, plus the fact that ideologically I align closely with the founding fathers of the United States, regardless, I say enough is enough. I say it is time we stop rolling over and just taking getting royally fucked up the ass, as in anally raped, without Vaseline mind you, to the point of death of our digital presences. If all of us just keep lying there and taking it, they're going to keep on doing it. People need to start standing up and telling them that they are not going to stick that blue cheese reeking dick up their asses. The only way this is going to happen, though, is if people transition to expanding their presences online and embrace alt-tech in the process. So I have decided to be one of those people that stands up. I am saying here and now that I am not going to be anally raped by that blue cheese dick. I am not going to allow for you to get it near me. I am going to be embracing alt-tech from this point forward, far more than I already have. I am going to do all that I can to promote it and the sites that make it up. I am going to help to make them communities where diversity of thought is the only diversity that matters. Places where people can speak freely, free from censorship. I am asking for others to stand up with me. It does not matter if you are a creator of content or a consumer of it. We are all in the same boat with the same sharks circling us. I think Benjamin Franklin put things best on what will happen to us if we do not start working together doing these types of things. We must, indeed, all hang together or, most assuredly, we shall all hang separately. We either all come together under common cause or we all go down one by one. You have a choice to make. Please make the right one and take a stand. Embrace alt-tech and support it. Encourage others to do the same. Because without it, there will be no place for those of us who are wrong thinkers and disruptive influences. Those of us who disrupt the status quo and cause others to think and question what they believe, which is exactly what they want and are trying to create. Alex Jones and InfoWars, with the fact they were able to rally their millions of viewers and listeners behind Trump and help to get him elected, that was not lost on the left, Democrats, deep state, Silicon Valley elites, the globalists, and cultural Marxists. They definitely noticed. Plus, on top of things, they just saw their tidy bowl blue flush fall short and leave a floater. With the midterm elections 3 months away and facing a reality where they lose even more power and control, Alex is only the first of many who will be deplatformed using intentionally vague terms of service moving on from this point forward. Any one of us that doesn't align with them ideologically could be next. Even though when it comes to YouTube, I know that I am shadow banned and have my content throttled. I also know that it is only a matter of time before I see a familiar fate. This is when I am someone who's been chained up in the corner with a muzzle strapped to my face to keep me quietly stuck there. The only reason why it hasn't happened yet is because they don't currently see me or perceive me as a threat and are fine with my being there to toy with. The second that changes, they're going to take that chain they have me strapped to the wall with and wrap it around my neck like one of their gimps and end it all for me out there. If you are edgy, use wrong speak, or through what you say it encourages others to, are not politically correct, hate identity politics, cultural Marxism, and things like socialism or communism, or of a similar ilk, it is only a matter of time for you as well. You should be waiting for the other shoe to drop and for it to happen to you. If looking down the road you see the same fate for yourself and it causes you to become proactive and expand your presence onto more platforms, especially those in alt tech, I have one last thing to ask of you. Once you make the move, don't look back. Whatever happens, happens. No regrets, and start taking the fight to them. Let them know that you are not going to be silenced and just ignored. Treat them how Chris Rock and Bernie Mac's characters in the movie Head of State treat the vice president in order to get him to debate.
And we feel that what this community needs is
what the community needs is for you to debate me right now.
You want to tell the people something? Tell them that.
I thought I told you that we won't stop. I thought I told you that we won't stop.
Well, now, my agenda.
I'll tell you what our agenda is.
Our agenda is to have a debate right now.
We need to get rid of this zero and talk to the hero.
But you got time to jog, but you don't got time to debate?
You run, but you can't hide.
I thought I told you that we won't stop. I thought I told you that.
How about when you're...
What you looking for, the news? The news is we want a debate.
No!
What you change the channel for?
He's scared. He's scared.
Oh,
He's scared.
God.
Here's a word from my sponsor.
We want a debate. I thought I told you that we won't stop. I thought I told you that we won't stop. I thought I told you that we won't stop. Yo, Lewis, your mother's ass is so big when she sits down, she's 3 feet taller.
Showing that clip, I am not condoning the harassment of people with using it as an example. What I am saying is, let it be known civilly that you are there and not going away. Get up there front and center where they can see you and show them that you are not. They may have limited your reach or silenced you on platforms they control, but those are the only places they can do that. Everywhere else online where you can use the voice you've created for yourself, use it to bring attention to what they are doing and call them out for it. Convince others to follow suit and transition from sites like Alphabet's Google and YouTube, Facebook and Twitter, any and all sites that do not allow for free speech or the open exchange of ideas. Do not go down without a fight. Metaphorically go out the way you came into this world on these platforms, kicking, screaming, arms flailing, and covered in someone else's blood. As always, thank you for watching. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video, when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.